Welcome to another brand new episode of the Fitish podcast. I am Jenna, and I'm here with my baby daddy, my better half, Francisco.
Welcome. I'm Francisco.
I am your Uber wife, as it happened yesterday. I just Fran ordered us to-go food from somewhere, and Mom had a night out. Well, not a drinking night out, but I went to an event to do a hot Pilates class, which I'm still sweating from, and I smell terrible. So be thankful you can't smell me through.
Be thankful.
Your speakers right now. Oh, no, I'm just, when you start working out again, you're just sweating all the time. I can tell my metabolism's fired up. Anyway, he ordered us Chinese food. I left it up to him. I told him to pick a restaurant in the vicinity of where I was working out and have it ready to go. And I would pick it up when I left the workout and came home, since he was on daddy duty. And I went in and they couldn't find it. And then I saw a bag that said Francisco R. And I'm like, okay, that's definitely for me. But the little woman who ran the restaurant was like, she was doubtful. Since I had said it was for Jenna.
Well,
and
you
she
seem
goes,
like someone that will steal an order for sure.
So, and this is where I would do an accent, but in this day and age, it would be highly offensive. So I won't do that. But she said, it said Uber on the bag. And I'm trying to make a joke to her that was like, well, yeah, I'm like technically his like Uber wife, and she didn't really get it. She was like, no, it's Uber. And I was like, no, like he must have ordered it through Uber Eats and said we'd do a pickup, and I'm the pickup. And so then I got out of there. So I managed to let her. I gave her a $10 bill and she let me take the bag, is basically what happened. Even though
why would you give her a $10 bill?
Because I just know you and I just assumed you paid on, because it said paid, but I was like, I bet he didn't tip.
Babe, anyhow, I'm not going to go there. I don't have the emotional energy.
Because how would you have tipped if you didn't?
There is an option. And the option starts at 18%.
Even when you pick up?
Even when you pick up.
I've never done Uber pickup. Don't get mad at me. Defend yourself. Fran, it's clearly a sensitive topic because I'm an over tipper and he's an under tipper. And so we argue about it all the time.
I'm a very fair tipper. I'm a very, ask any
That's
waiter.
What under tippers say.
No, ask any waiter that knows me. Like if you go to the places that I normally go, they get anything below 20%.
I know.
But
I'm sorry.
If you give me a shitty service, I'm going to give you a shitty tip.
That's fine. And I'm just saying that I'm not saying I'm right. This is not one of those I'm right, you're wrong scenarios, Fran. It's I tip 20% no matter what, even when I'm not happy with the service. And I know I'm not proud of that. Do you think I'm proud of that? I'm not proud of how I am as a tipper. I'm not proud of all the extra tip dollars I've put out into the universe and could probably have thousands of dollars now. I'm an over tipper. I'm not bragging about it. I'm not happy about it. That's just who I am, okay?
And we love you that way.
I've always felt that, that extra $10 to someone could have made their night. And I'm a big believer. I'm not a religious person per se, but I'm a big believer in karma and what you put out there and the energy that you put out into the universe. And so
you're buying your way through karma.
No. Hear me the fuck out real quick, okay?
Listen.
I'm not buying my way through karma. I'm not buying friends. I'm not that rich. No, I feel that if I am fortunate enough to have some disposable income and that I can tip someone a little bit extra that's working hard, and who knows what their situation is like, that could turn their day into a really good day. And then they'll put out better energy because of that, right? Does that make sense?
100%.
Like if someone just randomly, you hear about those things, like someone in a Waffle House gives a tip of like $500 and the woman's like a single mom and goes home and like has $500 that, could have been like tips for 2 weeks for her. It's like life-changing.
The amount of crack you can buy with $500.
Y'all see the negativity that you think we're going to get sued by Waffle House now. Like you're putting out there that you think that single mom, unnamed single mom,
there's some single
moms crack and she has a job at the Waffle House. No, she doesn't. That crack addict's out on the street. You couldn't sustain a job if you were a crack addict like that.
Well, maybe she's a functional crack addict.
I just think that
I'm kidding.
Little acts of kindness, I think, go a long way in this world that we live in, because so many people have large acts of unkindness that I just am a believer in that. So that goes into my over tipping.
That's absolutely great.
And by the way, have you ever waited tables? You haven't, because you would. I'm just answering that question for you. I think everyone in their life needs to be a waiter at some point to recognize.
I have.
When?
I used to have a restaurant.
Okay, but you owned the restaurant. That does not count. You waited a couple tables and like socialized.
No, sometimes we were out of like waiters and I had to go and fulfill those orders. And I didn't get any tips. Maybe it was a cheaty one. I don't know.
I like to give you a justification because in other countries, tipping, like in Mexico, for instance, I always get very confused. Like tourist places are one thing, but like in Mexico City, it's like very standard to leave a 10% tip only if service is really great, right? It's like the European mentality.
No. In Mexico, 10 is like, I think 15 is a good average.
15 is okay. So it's just different in other countries. It's like in Europe,
get used to it.
You go to London and people are like, ooh, like you're not supposed to leave them anything, even in the cabs or anything like that. But that's because they pay people much better that are hourly workers.
Yeah, like in France when we were in Paris. Like,
yeah, you like really don't tip at all. So it's just a different mentality. But well, starting off on that note, I didn't know we were going to talk about tipping and you were going to rag on me that I'm buying my way through the cosmic universe here.
I didn't know it was about to be that long of a conversation either, but I'm glad we got it out of the way.
What are you doing? What are you doing to make the world a better place?
A lot.
What?
I'm making a baby, which is going to be an outstanding citizen.
Okay, so same.
I recycle sometimes.
Why would you even lead with something that you absolutely don't do? Could you not even?
Because it's not provable,
Like I literally just got one of those dual trash cans, and I don't even know why you're saying this. It doesn't even have a bag in it right now because I learned that those bags aren't recyclable.
No, I'm not recycling right now, but I have recycled,
I'm not doing it right now. I'm not in a phase right now of recycling.
But something I do is I put the batteries. I don't throw them into the trash can. I take them somewhere sometimes also.
If you can tell, we're feeling a lot better. We're getting the hang of this parenting thing. And I actually have been up since 6 o'clock this morning meal prepping because I've decided that it's time for me to start fitting into regular clothes again. So I'm not a big dieter in general. Like I don't really tend to diet, but I guess that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm going to start consistently exercising and I'm going to do Pilates. I'm going to stick with some form of Pilates, I've decided, and eat better. I think that's the science behind getting in better shape, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what I thought would happen. Did I tell you, like, I bought a pair of jeans a size bigger than my normal size on my birthday. And I thought, oh, this is great. I just because I've been missing jeans. I haven't gotten to wear jeans for a while. And they didn't even come close to fitting. I mean, not even couldn't even get the bottom button out of the 5 buttons. Like not even close. And it was just a terrible thing to do to myself.
Dude,
like, what do I think is going to happen? That
I'm just after this whole pregnancy thing and our bodies are just adjusting to not being pregnant. I'm just going for labels that says S, M, and L. And I'm just going for the L. I'm not going to go for numbers.
Yeah.
Numbers are out of the question right now.
Like when we were having sex yesterday, I looked down and I could see my stomach.
Oh, dude. Like, what? I looked down and I saw your stomach. And
no,
I was
mine. And I'm like, I don't even recognize my body anymore, And I know I don't look terrible, but it makes me very self-conscious.
You look amazing. I'm just going to go ahead and say.
When is this going to get
better?
You
look super sexy.
Oh my gosh. But that's good. At least we had sex.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
What? 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 Why'd you say it like that? Like we didn't really.
You were focusing on your body. You need to focus in the moment. Let it go. Like Frozen used to say.
That's how it feels.
Let it go.
It's less painful than it was, but this is a conversation a lot of women that have had babies had. Like, I don't know how women get pregnant immediately after giving birth, but if you, most women know this, but if you have sex, as soon as you're cleared to have sex, it's actually really painful. And I'm just not on that wavelength right now. Yeah. Like your mom.
Yeah,
talking about your mom and sex. Like your mom had sex with your dad the second she was cleared, those 6 weeks, and got pregnant that first time.
And that makes me really happy,
Because it was you?
No, but besides that, obviously. What
do you mean it makes you really happy?
They had that relationship. They have that relationship.
But people like your mom are making me feel bad because how was she able to comfortably have sex at that juncture?
She was 20.
She was 20?
Yeah, when she had her Luli, she was 20 years old.
Wow. I didn't know she was that young. So I have an old vagina, is what you're saying.
No, you just have a more
Mature.
as we grow,
Let's
our
see where he's
bodies-
going to go with this.
our bodies are more like a very like a professional machine that needs more care
Oil,
and more like
lubricant.
no
That
no,
would
not
actually be like the most applicable
yes,
word
yeah,
here.
yeah, for sure. It's more like a specific, like more incredible machine. It just gets better. Less forgiving.
You see, this is what men do. They talk around it for a while, so you just kind of lose focus on what they're saying. No, I'm in it. I'm feeling
And
so
if
much
it doesn't
better.
work, you jump into Spanish.
Yeah, well, my Spanish needs some work. No, I'm feeling so much better. I feel so proud of myself because I decided I'm going to start eating better. And I've said this before because a lot of y'all will ask me exactly what I do to work out. Well, you used to ask me that when I was in better shape, but I hate to admit this, but it's taken me, almost 40 years of my life to really be certain that getting in better shape is far more about nutrition than it is about
100%.
Exercise is amazing for mental health and for muscle definition and things like that. And you need in heart health, like we need to exercise. But if you get yourself in really good shape and you eat like shit, you're not going to get yourself in really good shape. And that's why I need food to be slightly more convenient, especially when it comes to trying to kind of like meal plan and meal prep. Because if it's not in the fridge and ready to go, like I'm certainly not about to go to the grocery store and look up all these recipes. And that's why we love HelloFresh. What is HelloFresh? Well, you're going to get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep, which I think is still, y'all hear me talk about services that deliver, and this is why I love this so much, because my least favorite thing to do is go to the grocery store and look up recipes. So HelloFresh is obviously just, completely eliminating that unnecessary activity so they can make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable for you. It's actually America's #1 meal kit. And another great part about HelloFresh is it's 72% cheaper than dining out at a restaurant. I mean, I'm sure y'all have gone through phases where you order from restaurants to be delivered to your house. Oh my gosh. You look back at your credit card statement and you're like, wait, all my money is going to, it's like the dining and entertainment category. No, that does not need to be the case anymore. Their chefs are going to make delicious food. And it's like home cooked meals are just better. Like you just feel like you're eating better because you know what's going into them, right?
And there's something amazing of the fact that they bring exact ingredients that you need.
Exactly. And you can skip weeks if you say it's summer, I'm going on vacation, or I just need to take some time off. You're able to do that. Their app is very friendly and easy to use. And again, you can kind of swap things out depending on what you're eating right now. Like for instance, I'm trying to eat less carbohydrates and more protein. So I'm going to aim for more meals along those lines. Anyway, go to HelloFresh.com/Fitish16 and use the code Fitish16. That's FITISH16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. Fitish16 when you go to HelloFresh.com. Again, you're going to get 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. Yeah,
So amazing.
You better go do that right now. You're going to love it. It's going to make life so much easier. Who's calling you and texting you when we're podcasting?
No,
Don't they know?
they don't. But someone just called me twice in a row, and you know that sometimes. Anyhow,
I hope not many people watch the video version of this.
why?
Well, because like my shirt doesn't fit. My shirt's like when the buttons are gapping. I'm trying
Babe,
to fit
you
into
look
clothes,
so sexy.
and it's just not. Hey, I got.
And I
these
like your
zipped.
groove. Like you like grooving today, like groovy.
So you know what I did last night? What?
I don't know. You went work out.
I did, and thank you for letting me do that. I told myself that I had invited a particular influencer to a workout event we had this weekend, and then she came and she turned around and invited me to something she was launching last night, and it was at this place called Shine Hot Pilates, and I have been wanting to go there. It's in North Dallas, and I have had friends go there, but of course, when you're pregnant and doing all that, you can't do anything hot. So I said to Fran, I was like, 7:00 at night sucks. Like I'm not a late. If a workout's taking place after 3 p.m. in the afternoon, really after 12 p.m. I should say, like, it's not happening for me. I either need to get up and go work out or get it taken care of by lunchtime because I'm just not going to do it. So it was kind of lingering all day, but I wanted to go because she invited me. And I will say I was the oldest person in this class by 10 years. All these girls were much younger, but I thought, it's good for the brand. It's good for, for me to go meet, these girls that are fitness ambassadors and influencers because this is, it's business.
Did you meet people, interesting people?
Yeah, the girls were so nice. And, but when you go to a workout class like that, you don't do a whole lot of socializing. It was very much kind of show up, say hi. We met each other. We took a picture at the end, but we just worked out. And I don't feel comfortable these days, especially with like fitness influencers working out because I've hardly worked out maybe 3 or 4 times since I had this baby. But I've started to make this loose commitment to getting into better shape. So, and I've been wanting to try this class because I knew you did it once before. I loved it. I really loved it. It was like hot and really loud, good music. And the guy that taught the class was great. It was just kind of unexpected. Like, I think that you would have liked this class, like maybe aside from some of the cardio parts that were a little more dancey, but it was kind of fun and funny and hard. And man, I walked out of there. I'm exhausted, but I also have energy, if that makes sense. So,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
No, for sure. That's why
I'm
workout.
still sweating.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been 12 hours and I'm still sweating.
That means that your metabolism's working.
Yay. Finally, it's like, wake up.
We can smell it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Sorry.
You cannot
You
smell
probably
it.
can.
No. You smell amazing as always. But
What?
I don't know. Just said but.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something happened when I was gone.
No, we had an amazing time.
Yeah, Fran acted all put out that I was going to work out, and I come home. Remy's been asleep, and he's playing Call of Duty.
When did I put out? I love when you go out.
Well, I called him when I left the class, and I was picking up our Chinese food, and he didn't answer, so I called him again, as we do. And he was like, what's up? Real, like, short with me. And I'm like, I wanted to just talk to you on my drive home about my workout class.
That's something that is amusing to me. Like, we are about to meet. I'm about to hear this.
You do the same fucking shit to me. You call me, hey, I'm on my way to Whole Foods. Do you need anything? And I'm like,
that's it.
No. And you're like, you just sit there on the phone because you want to chat when you're in the car.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to do. But I didn't realize you were like headset on talking trash to 10-year-olds playing Call of Duty.
I was killing people, babe.
You were getting killed. Let's be honest.
I was killing and a ratio of 1-5. Kill 1, got killed 5 times.
He's not very good because he doesn't play very much. And he always complains every time he turns on the system that it takes
updates.
It takes like 3 hours
people,
to update.
Like, I hate you. Like, I use my Xbox like every 2 months.
Yeah, you do. I think you average like 2 Call of Duty games like every couple of months, right?
So every time I turn that thing on, it needs an update that takes an hour. And I was like, but nobody's at the house. Why is it the bandwidth so low?
Because
then I remember we have 10 million cameras.
You installed a dozen security cameras.
Yeah. No, so anyhow, but I always enjoy spending 101 with my Remy.
Oh, yeah. I knew you weren't about to say with me anymore.
No.
1-on-1 with your Remy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And with you also.
He's great. We're getting the hang of it.
Yeah. We had bad at times.
Spa night.
And we watched some Disney movie for 15 minutes. We have to watch things in 15-minute increments.
Yeah, he gets overstimulated.
And then he went to bed.
Yeah.
We couldn't find a pacifier, so we had a little fire drill.
What does that mean?
Like, we started improvising what could be used as a pacifier.
What'd you put in his mouth to suck
Well,
on?
spark plug doesn't work. He doesn't latch very well.
What did you put on? No,
you try like Play-Doh, but he starts chewing on it. So don't do it at home.
He's lying. Don't take him seriously.
No. We just look everywhere for the pacifiers.
Yeah, he called me like, where's a pacifier? I'm like, I don't know, in the house somewhere.
But something that is really funny, I don't know, you haven't used it as amazingly as I have, but the cameras are two-way speakers. Like two-way, you can have two-way communication. So when people are not answering their phones, you can see where people are and just speak through them through that camera.
Oh, like when you're at work and I'm in the house and you want to talk to me?
And I want to talk, or when I'm looking for your mom and she's not answering, it's like, oh, she's in that room. So you just start talking through the camera.
Yeah, all of a sudden you hear Fran like, Remy, and Remy's in his bed. I'm like, do you know how terrifying that is to a baby to be like Remy, and Remy's like in his crib, like looking around. I'm like, don't freak our son out like that.
Well, he likes it. He told me.
What, he likes when you talk to him?
He likes when I talk to him.
We have so many great questions to tackle today. Y'all have like really been submitting a lot of questions. So, you know, I guess we can tackle a lot of these today because we didn't get to as many last week.
Also.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, you start and then I'll
No. I would love for you to start and lead this. Yeah.
So there's many really good questions, and one that struck me is,
oh, I see. You don't have them like totally prepared. You're just, I'm sorry. You posed your own situation on. Okay, why don't you look around for some questions, because I have, you know, I'm just going to start out with one real quick and then I'll let you get to it. Abby wanted to know what are some good podcasts or resources for someone starting their own business. Well, podcast wise, this one, no, Abby, you know what? I wish I could say that I listen to more podcasts than I do. I think doing our podcast, it takes some time, but one that I've always loved is Guy Raz's How I Built This. I find that podcast, it's an NPR based series. And he interviews so many great people, from small business owners to, of course, ones that have had like a lot of success in business. And, what's most interesting about the How I Built This is a lot of the founders talk about how they like literally failed or almost failed for a long period of time before, you know, something like the Burt's Bees story is really interesting. Of course, I gravitate more towards the beauty ones since are product-based ones, but there's, you know, the founder of Airbnb and all these kind of great ideas and how they almost never got off the ground. So I highly recommend that. But in terms of resources, I mean, I could not live without ShipStation, which is now finally a sponsor of the Fitish podcast. But, you know, this is for so many women and just people in general, right? Their dream is really to start their own business, have something that they can have a product or just have something that they're shipping directly to a customer. And I couldn't recommend that business model more, right? Trying to have a product that you're getting distribution in stores is very difficult. But if you could start a small business, whether it's something you're making at home or a product that you're buying, like let's say a lot of people have these Amazon stores that they're actually buying wholesale items overseas and then you're just presenting them in a really pretty way, right? I think a lot of people probably don't even realize that's what's happening when they're buying certain kind of accessories and tools and things like that off Amazon, that people are starting these Amazon stores. And you could not do business without ShipStation. They're, of course, they're aligned with my fulfillment services. I have a Shopify store, but this is a plugin, right, that's going to work and it's going to streamline all of your shipping. And shipping, if you've had a business before, you know that's like by far the most expensive and difficult part usually of running the business. And ShipStation is just going to make things run so effortlessly for you. It literally prints off all the orders. So whether you're just shipping out, 2 or 3 orders a week from your garage, or it grows into something where you're shipping out, thousands upon thousands of orders, ShipStation is going to be there to support you. I love it. And why don't you sign up? Use the promo code Fitish for a free 60-day trial today at ShipStation.com and start saving with every shipment. 2 whole months of discounted shipping, absolutely free. When you go to ShipStation.com, click the microphone at the top of the page and type in Fitish. ShipStation, make ship happen. Still the best tagline.
Are you making ship happen?
I make ship happen every day up here.
Great. So I have a question.
Get to your questions. Fran did a Q&A on his own social media.
It's a really important question. I'm pretty sure it's taking this person that asked the question.
Sorry, I smell. I know.
Some sleep.
I shouldn't put my arm like this.
She's asking, XOXO is asking, Francisco, did you ever hooked up with a nun? I want to know. I wish the answer was different, but the answer is no.
Oh, XOXO. I was hoping he said yes too.
No. First of all, you only see their faces.
But surely you came across a woman. And so we're revisiting the conversation about Fran's very short, failed journey to the priesthood in Rome. And he basically was too sexually active to become a priest. And no, I mean, I'm just summing it up.
Okay.
I'm just summing it
long
up.
Story short.
Long story short, like they said his services would be better elsewhere, in a nutshell. But really, there had to have been a nun like you, like that just wasn't a good fit for.
But we never met. Unfortunately.
What do you mean you never met?
I never met that.
You heard about a slutty nun and you never got to meet her? Oh.
So, but it's so deceiving because all the nuns, the only thing you can see is their faces. Most of them have habits. It's called habit, the dress that cover everything besides their. And you're in Italy. Like you see one of the most beautiful nuns. You don't know what they're hiding. And you don't
know what they're hiding.
They're eating all this bread and they're eating.
You eat a lot of bread in the nun journey?
Sure, because you make it.
They don't care about their bodies, right?
No.
Do they exercise?
I'm pretty sure they have to exercise. They walk a lot. Some.
A lot of walking.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure they.
A lot of kneeling.
But it's like, what are you packing? Like, what's inside? Like, you don't want, like, you're already gonna go there.
You got a peek of an ankle or something, surely.
No, for sure. But sometimes ankles are deceiving. You know, sometimes have the thick ankles. And
that's true. And everything else is great.
Yeah. So I decided not to go there.
Yeah. Because why? When you could just have any regular woman off the street.
Yeah.
Why tempt them?
Double whammy.
Yeah.
Like going to prison.
Want to steal her from God.
Yeah, no,
right?
No. That I cannot compete.
Yeah. No, of course not. How? No, you couldn't. There's no way.
No.
I mean, I love you, but you're not making miracles happen. Yeah.
I do make miracles happen.
That was a great question. I liked that question. If y'all missed Fran's failed priesthood journey story, that's a few podcasts ago. I highly recommend you go listen to it because Fran has had 9 lives, maybe 15. I'm not sure exactly. A lot of baby questions. Mrs. Larry Knapp, I believe is how I pronounced it. I hope y'all are okay using usernames. Sometimes y'all say, don't say my name, but this one's not offensive. You said, how did it go with weaning off breastfeeding? It was fucking terrible. Right?
Are they asking you or are they asking me?
Let's direct it towards you first. What do you think?
It went rough. It was ups and downs.
I know I've said I've taken you along this journey from IVF to this, and I've always been very honest about it. And I would say that it was a very short period of time, but there was about 48 to 72 hours in there that I was certain that I was starting to get postpartum depression. I felt awful. I felt very weird. But I just kept telling myself, as I recommend to a lot of women going through pregnancy and postpartum right now, this is temporary. This is temporary. Because if you can just keep telling yourself that it is temporary, right? In most cases. So it was really hard. I think I read it's because when you decide to stop, and I went pretty more cold turkey on the weaning than I anticipated. I used the cabbage leaves for a few days. I pumped only for like a couple of minutes to give relief. People told me to stand in a hot shower and express your milk like you're a cow. Like literally, that's what you have to do. It was pretty uncomfortable, but I went on a run and I got more sleep. I was more tired than usual. I felt sick. Like I felt kind of flu-like, but it only lasted 48 hours and the milk's pretty much dried up now.
Yeah.
It's a little clear.
Watery,
which is kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Brad never tried it.
I did try it.
I asked him. He never once tried it. Not directly from the teat. Not
directly from the
I'm kind
teat.
of surprised. I figured that's something you would have wanted to do. Is it that gross looking?
No. I just, you don't want to fuck with the milk source of your baby. Like,
what do you mean?
Like formula. Well, right now it's also very limited, but.
Yeah. No, you don't get to try any of that formula. You don't even get a sip. No.
No. But back in the day, with formula was something that you could be able to buy, and the teat milk was something that was scarce. You don't want to just waste it. But I did try it. Tasted sweet, for sure. I have another question from chillona.af. What do you miss the most about pre-Remy life?
A lot. I miss a lot. I miss so much.
What do you miss the most? That's the most. Pick one.
Too many things to count. What do I miss the most? I guess it changes, right? For now, I would say in this moment, asking me this, it's that ability to just go, right? It's the ability to just I don't know whether it's to just be like, I just need to go work out right now. I'm just going to hop in the car and go, or I just want to go to an errand, or Fran and I, let's just meet at happy hour when we get out of work and go have a drink. Right. Or, hey, you know what? Oh my God, I would love to go to Cabo next weekend. Can we just book a flight and go to Mexico? I mean, that's never happening again. It's never going to happen again. So those are the things I miss. The more like instant gratification, immediacy of just, and I knew being pregnant that those days were numbered, but it's just that freedom, that feeling of just like being able to go without planning. Because even right now, I've been up since before 6 a.m. and I didn't even get to work until 9:30. Like, what in the world was I doing for 3.5 hours? Oh, that's right. I was like doing baby stuff before, and then tried to get myself dressed to come in. So yeah, I mean, it's just, you can't do anything quickly and with the last minute notice. What about you?
So, of course, those things. Like I miss the spontaneity of things.
Right.
But I think what I miss the most is the fearless portion of my life. Like, I worry about things now. I worry about dying.
Good. Thank you. Fucking finally. I mean, I have always been
worried
that way.
about like things happening.
Yeah.
About things that I've never worried before. Like the other day, and I'm going to answer one of the 5 questions I have, which with this, I still ride my motorcycle, but it puts a lot of perspective.
Yeah.
Like it does, like, shit, if you die, that kid would not have a dad.
I mean, he would. I would find someone amazing.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But not as amazing, you know? He's already used to this.
It would only take me a minute. Yeah,
but you only going to go down, then you
No, I'm kidding when I say that just to make y'all laugh. But I hate how exhausting the fear is every day. Like, you just live with this constant lingering, is he okay? Is he breathing? What if he gets cancer? What if Fran dies? I mean, I think these thoughts, they're intrusive all day.
I'm not worried about him getting cancer. I worry about
really?
myself getting cancer.
Oh, it's like I'm in this weird dichotomy of like, I don't want to watch TikToks anymore because you come across
your TikTok shit is weird.
You have hookers on yours, and mine happen to be
I'd
like
much rather
fat.
have hookers than have baby dyings.
I know. I can't control my algorithm.
Well, stop liking fucking baby dyings.
I'm not liking those. I'm not liking babies dying. I think it's because I'm on Mom Talk. And Mom's of TikTok now, okay?
I like this. Like, I don't enjoy seeing girls in bikinis doing the dribble. Uh-huh. But I much rather see that than seeing fucking babies intubated from all the orifices.
At times, and I don't care if you watch porn, but like, I'm like, in like the middle of the night, I'm like, is he on TikTok or like,
and what am I doing?
Red Tube or whatever. You're on something. I don't know. You're playing chess.
Yeah, most likely.
You're playing chess when I look over.
Just creating content for my OnlyFans.
And don't act like you're not riding your motorcycle because of Remy and me.
Oh, no. I never said I wasn't riding it. I'm still riding it. I'm not going to get rid of it. And I'm still going to do stuff like that. However, I do them with a little fear.
Good. I'm glad. I've been waiting. I've been hoping. If I wasn't enough, now Remy is. Grace Catherine is asking how we're doing with the formula shortage. What brand does Remy eat? It's just devastating, right? And I'm not knowledgeable enough to speak to all of the reasons. I know we talked about it yesterday that Abbott, one of the largest producers of formula, obviously with a couple of those recalls, got shut down. And Fran, you had mentioned that you thought the FDA told them they could open again, but Abbott came out yesterday and had a statement saying like, no, the FDA still hasn't allowed us to reopen, but it still just is frustrating and doesn't make sense. We're doing okay. I mean, I'm just upset about the whole situation, and I wish that there was more I could do publicly or to help. And now that we're strictly formula, I mean, I know this is affecting a lot of you, I'm sure. I'd be interested to hear what y'all are doing about it. I was fortunate that I signed up for this direct-to-consumer brand of formula called Bobbie, Bobbie. They're not a sponsor of the podcast. I wish they were, and then I could hook everyone up.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, maybe I'll reach out. No, they're not. It's just a brand that I had come across that they have created a formula that actually doesn't have corn syrup in it, which is something that was important to Francisco and I, since most all formula is made with corn syrup. But Bobbie makes formula similar to some of the European brands. And FDA makes things very complicated, right? So that's why we're not able to get a lot of that formula over here, and they're stocked over there, but all the regulations, right? And so Bobby is supposed to be the closest to breast milk. And so, a lot of babies that have special dietary needs can't be on regular formula like that. But he seems to do pretty well with it. So, and I started giving it to him when I was supplementing. And now, of course, we're going through a can of formula every 3 days. And I think it's really like eye opening because I didn't realize that that's how much formula that a lot of us go through when they're strictly formula fed. A can every 3 days. I'm 10 cans of formulas, almost $300. And it's wild, it would be better for literally any other baby supply to be in this situation. Even diapers. All of us could figure out a way to deal if diapers were out. It would be disgusting. It would be difficult, but like formula, parents are having to go to hospitals to get formula, It's just crazy. I read a tip, and I don't know if this is 100% true, but if you're struggling, you can go to Amazon because Amazon and is out of like Amazon Fresh and some of those other options for food. They're, what I could tell, out because, of course, the Amazon's coming from the local grocery stores. But if you change your Amazon to Amazon Canada and you keep your address on there, I have heard that you can get Canadian formula sent, and maybe the shipping's more expensive, but I heard that. I have not vetted that, so just an option to look into changing your Amazon to Canada, to Canadian Amazon, and see if you could skirt the system that way. I don't know.
Crazy stuff is happening.
Yeah, really, really crazy, really frustrating.
I have another question.
Okay.
From Marianne Campos Solalde. Are you all getting along better? I'll let you answer. Are we getting along better?
She sent that to you.
No, all these questions are for both of us.
Yeah, when was the last time we were fighting?
I don't keep track of that.
We were fighting on my birthday. We talked about that last week. I think that was our last fight that we had, right?
I think so.
I think we're getting along better.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
I think so. Great. Check. Mark.
That's it?
I think we are. I think we are doing amazing.
I think so. It's hard to navigate this because, now we're at a place that we're not, we don't spend as much quality time together, and I'm sure, but I think we both understand it, and we know that at some point it'll get back to where we're able to kind of navigate this and figure it out. But as it stands right now, like one of us is sleeping, and it's been Fran for the most part. We're not going to have any help at night anymore because it's time for us to not spend that money and to just do it ourselves. But, Fran's been, I have a day bed, a twin set up in the nursery. So Fran's been sleeping down there at night with Remy, which has been really nice of you, and getting up, but he's sleeping almost through the night. But of course, we're going a lot of nights not even sleeping in the same bed together. And I really miss that because I like getting to bed at night and turning on an episode of House that I fall asleep 5 minutes into, but I love it. I find it to be like really good connection for us. But in general, I think we're doing pretty good. I worry about stuff, but I think that's why like going to therapy or having therapy when we need it is probably the right call there, especially when it comes to like,
I was about to say,
disciplining children, or
we need preventative therapy
because I think, you have to be on the same page. Especially my fear is like when Remy gets old enough, like you never want him to like hear you fight. Right. So, hey, some of y'all that have been parents for longer could probably give us some pretty good advice, but BetterHelp's been a sponsor of the Fitish podcast for a while. And Fran and I have done therapy in the past. We've done couples therapy. I've done therapy alone. I went through a really difficult period of time about 10 years ago. I was taking antidepressants and doing therapy because I think those things go hand in hand, obviously. But, therapy can be all sorts of things, right? This could be you're struggling with your career and, you need maybe some help with just some life decisions, or you could be having some real relationship issues in general. BetterHelp is going to be customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist. So you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. And it's more affordable than in-person therapy, because I know that that's a big reason that a lot of people don't, is they can't afford therapy. But BetterHelp is much more affordable than any of the in-person stuff you're going to come across. And they'll match you with a therapist in under 48 hours. Fitish listeners are going to get an even better discount, 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/Fitish. That's BETTERHELP.com/Fitish. Don't try to do stuff alone. If you're struggling, I think that's what's hard is, and I don't know if you've ever gone through a period of time where you were depressed, Fran, but you can feel very alone when you do. So you tend to isolate yourself even more. You don't want to go out. You don't want to do stuff because you're not feeling good. And, now, a service like this is amazing because there's people out there that can talk you through and give you some coping skills. Or at some point, maybe you need medicine.
And the great thing is that you are giving that discount code for people to try it. Like even if you think you don't need it, try it.
Yeah.
Try it, because talking to someone about what's going on with your life, giving you an unbiased perspective, it's so useful, especially when you're feeling a little lost.
Amity Peg. I'm sorry saying these usernames wrong. And I'm just letting y'all know, so many of you are asking a lot about pregnancy stuff, but where did you find your night nurse? What does she do? I'm so interested. Night nurse is a very lavish thing, I think, but man, it's just been one of the best things we've spent money on. And a lot of women had recommended it to me, and Fran and I thought it'd be ridiculous, because you are spending money, hard-earned money, to have someone stay up with your child at night. But when we got a refund from the mix-up with the IVF, Remy being a boy and not a girl, so we decided to put that money towards a night nurse. We thought it would give us something to look forward to, and this is our last couple of days of it. We decided 12 weeks, which was even 3 weeks longer than we had planned on doing it. So there's a lot of services that do this. We went through a service more recently when we had the mix-up and had to find a new service, Newborn Nightingales, out of Fort Worth.
Really great.
A lot of these women used to be pediatric nurses, or you can pay for nurses are more expensive, right? Like if they're actively nurses and you have a kid with, special needs or some health issues, I would recommend that. Ours, our woman had worked at a hospital before, and she's a mother. And so she gets it. But what do they do? Well, they come usually between like 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. They really just are responsible for the baby, right? So I would go up and go to bed. If I was pumping milk or breastfeeding, they bring the baby to you, or they come collect the milk from outside your bedroom door. They wash your pump parts. They wash the bottles. They'll do some of the baby laundry in the middle of the night if you need them to. We don't have her doing that. But they will just help the baby sleep. They'll sleep train if you're at a point that you actually want them to sleep train the baby and get the baby to sleep longer stretches. They kind of show you. And Fran goes to bed the second she gets there, but I'm like, if I'm paying the amount of money we're paying, he's like, you're so chatty with the night nurse. I'm like, yeah, because they have a lot of experience with newborns and infants, and I like to talk for half an hour. Like, I want some education. I want to learn about how we stretch him. He's been waking up now at 4:30 or 5 a.m. Well, how do you get the baby to then sleep until 7 a.m., right? If that's the goal. And so I get a lot of feedback, so they can give you great, just information, right? Stuff about the baby, or 3 bowel movements normal when he didn't have one the day before. We talk about all sorts of stuff like that. That's real fun. Sleep positioning. And I don't know, it just makes me feel so much better to know that someone's watching, and they're supposed to stay awake for the most part. I mean, I think they doze off a little bit here and there. But yeah, they're usually awake. And they sit in the room the whole night with the baby, which is really great.
It is amazing, and it is lavish. But a divorce is more expensive. And
that's a really good way to put it.
Yeah.
I've had friends that have used family members to do this, and Fran's mom helped us a few nights a week when she was here. It's, if I could recommend to anyone that's pregnant right now, use the help if it's offered. If you can afford to either fly a family member that could help you do this, or pay for someone, even if it's just 2 or 3 nights a week, to give you and your husband or your partner a little bit of rest, or if you're alone, oh my goodness, just to try and sleep through the night. It is life-changing, and it's been everything that I've needed, I think, to help emotionally and physically recover from the cesarean and have some of that help during 100%. The night. I wouldn't do it any other way, especially if I had another child. So
don't hesitate. It is expensive, but if you can, even if you have to sacrifice other pleasures in your life, these will make your life way easier. Sleeping is something that when you don't have it, you go crazy.
Really great, right?
Yep.
A lot of y'all have asked me questions about IVF. What made number 2 more successful? If y'all know, I had a failed transfer the first time. And I can't say because I can't say for certain, but I can tell you, and what I tell women, and a lot of you have written me about this, so I always try to share what I did differently, just very specifically. Okay. The first time around, I tried to just live normally, right? Ate whatever, worked out, felt healthy-ish, tried to have a good mindset. They tell you don't be too stressed out. I mean, you're kind of like, okay, fuck that. Like, it's really hard to not be stressed when I'm like putting something I've worked so hard for in, and you have to wait this dreaded 2-week wait period of time to find out if it worked or not. It's just so miserable. But the second time around, when the first one didn't work, I decided to stop exercising. I saw acupuncture was actually recommended by the IVF clinic, and I found that very interesting. That you don't normally find doctors recommend not like non-traditional medicine, but they did. They said that a lot of the females have had success with doing acupuncture leading up to a transfer. So I listened to what the acupuncturist recommended, and she did acupuncture. I did it once a week for 5 weeks leading up until the second transfer, including the night before, which was very crucial. And so they focus on blood flow. And so my understanding, and I want to believe in it because it worked for me. I don't know if it did or not. It could have just been luck of the draw that one stuck and the first one didn't. But I did the acupuncture. I stopped exercising, and I put on a little bit of weight. Like, I started eating some more warm comfort foods. And the science, according to the acupuncturist behind that, is you want all the blood flow going to your uterus, right? And so if you're exercising really hard or you're eating diet food, your blood is focused on other areas of your body, digestion, recovery, that sort of thing. So if you eat warm soups that are easy to digest and you don't exercise, right? So your blood flow is not going to muscles for recovery, and you're just really taking it easy. I mean, I'm telling you, for those few weeks leading up, like, I probably put on 10 pounds, and I just kind of like ate warm food and like rested. It worked. So who am I to say that didn't work? I don't know. But that's really the only thing that I did different, is I didn't work out, and I slept more, and I ate warm foods and did acupuncture.
Yeah. And you had that masseuse also, right? Like,
I got a couple massages. Yeah, I got a couple, but that was more about like relaxing, honestly.
But also, like, I'm pretty sure it focused on your uterus to keep that low
blood flow going in there.
Yeah.
So those would be my recommendations. Yeah, I think so, right?
Correct.
Hey, it worked.
Yeah.
And he wasn't a girl.
But have you seen the grip that baby has? Like, that calls you, like, and doesn't let you go. That's why maybe he was just gripped into your uterus.
Someone wrote me a really interesting question, and I had printed all these off, and I can't find it right now, but I really wanted to address it because I just thought it was really interesting, and I relate to it. And I don't have your name since I don't have it pulled up, but you asked me something along the lines of that you and your husband are trying to start, that conversation about getting pregnant and start trying to have a baby. But she has a lot of fear, she said, because, they fight occasionally, and it's just scary, right? To make that level of a commitment with someone to have a child, because it's like, she's starting to wonder all the what ifs. Like, what if like something goes wrong in our marriage? And did you have anxiety like that with Fran? And I absolutely did. And I like to be honest about it. I absolutely did, because, I don't know if everyone's relationship is just, I always tell myself no one's is perfect, and people do fight, and maybe some people are just better communicators than others, and some people get along really well. But Fran and I definitely have had some really bad fights, for sure. I mean, fights that I thought our relationship was done, and so it's scary, when I knew, and I always knew something about him that is a reason that I loved him so much. Like, he would be a great dad, and we've talked about that before. He's always been wonderful with kids. And when we started to have the conversation about having children together, I felt, we have this great connection, and I felt that it was right. But I don't know what better way to say it than I don't think you ever know for sure that your relationship's going to last a lifetime. And if you do, then that's amazing. But I think you just have to know that you're willing to put the work in, right? I mean, isn't that what it's about? Like, it's work. It takes work, and nothing's promised. I mean, one of us could die tomorrow.
A certain age.
So it's like,
I think once you reach a certain age, you stop fantasizing that. Like,
what?
foreverness, like that.
Yeah.
You realize that if you're lucky, you will have a partner
Like, it's
forever.
good enough for right now. Yeah, no.
But it works. Like, it's working. But it's really true. Like, you have to see the what ifs and you have to weigh them.
I
Put
would
them into
ask yourself,
consideration.
I think what's more important is how is this person going to be as a father, right? Because even if your relationship, and I said that, I think about that with Fran and I, even if something were to happen that our romantic relationship does not work out down the road, and I hope that's not the case. I hope that we spend our lives together and have a great family and we grow old together. But if something were to happen, and that we weren't together anymore, I believe fully that Fran would still be a wonderful father. And I think that that's the question, right? You have to start being more selfless and go, we can't always predict the future and know that your relationship and your marriage is going to last forever, right? But is your partner, like, would he be a good dad, or are you going to be like 100% mom? You know what I mean? I really believe that Fran would do anything, for me, for now, but for Remy, that even if something were to happen, and I hope that it doesn't, that I think that's the more important question before you start to think about having children with someone.
You need to see every scenario, because that kid is going to be with you forever.
I mean, I'm just hoping that Fran doesn't take him to Mexico and kidnap him, and then I have to have law enforcement come, but we'll get there when we get there.
Oh, babe, I'll send it every Wednesday and every other week.
You'll send it?
You'll send him back. Daddy has to have date nights, I'm going
to kill you. So we're doing great, as you can tell. We're doing awesome. Yeah, but we're looking forward to it. It's great. Y'all were right. I feel much better. I'm 12 weeks out now, and I'm feeling I'm not 100% there by any means, but I'm definitely feeling a hell of a lot better than
about 50%.
50? I don't know.
60?
Maybe, yeah.
67?
I think it's the whole struggle I have just being postpartum. This phase has been really hard, because when you're pregnant, you have this bump and people are very helpful. But when you're not pregnant anymore and you still kind of need all of that help, no one helps you anymore. Like Fran doesn't give me massages anymore. He used to rub me every night, and I don't get any anymore. And I'm very tired, and I would really like one.
Remy's hoarding all your massages.
I know. Remy gets all the loving. Yeah, but it's wonderful. We're very much enjoying it.
Yeah. Every time that you see that smile, I'm pretty sure I sound super redundant, but
yeah,
every time that you see that little smile, it's like everything worth it.
Yeah. But man, what a change, what a life change. I was thinking this morning about having children, and I don't know if this is a good analogy to people that don't have kids, but it's almost like politics or religion in a way. Like, if you don't have children, you just don't fully understand. And I've always had empathy and been great with kids and love family and all of that, and been very supportive of my friends with children. But until you're in the situation, you're like, wow, oh my gosh, now I get so much more of life.
But you are supportive with about your friends with kids when you don't have kids, but you see them when you go to the zoo. You go, or a petting zoo. You go see them and that's cool, super cute.
You're not in the trenches.
Pet them.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of there and talk about that's so, it looks wild, but it's cute.
Why so many of my friends are unavailable for long stretches of time, or just in a different headspace, because you're kind of drowning here and there for a while. In a very, we're freaking out. Freaking people out that are expecting, I'm sure, that listen, because I know there's so many women. I just like to be honest about it, because it's obviously so fulfilling, but it can be a little overwhelming at times.
The fulfilling versus scary and difficult ratio, it's 90 to 10
outweigh.
It's
I'm
always
no longer having visions of him falling off the top of the stairs.
No.
In the nightmares? Were you having nightmares?
Yeah, I remember that. It was horrible nightmares.
You're not having nightmares anymore?
No.
Good. I'm so glad. It's because you've been taking Delta 8 to sleep.
Every other night.
I forgot I can take that now.
When you see me carving gummy worms, it's when I took the
You and your worms. It is so gross. I just see loose worms on the nightstand.
Well, if I bring the whole bag, I'll
He
eat
just
the
has
whole bag.
loose worms. Like I tried to grab his hand last night in bed and I felt a worm in his hand. And I was like, is that a worm just loose? Like you're just holding on to a loose worm? I don't like it.
We have a relationship.
Keep them in their bags.
If I bring the whole bag from the pantry, with Delta 8,
Clearly, Fran's postpartum diet's going great. I'm sticking to mine. I made a salad for today. I'm going to eat my salad right now.
I'm just embracing like my father figure, you know?
Dad bod?
Yeah.
Summer of the dad bod?
So I'm going to go with the rule, if you cannot tone it, tan it.
Yeah, let's do that.
So I'm going to be tanning it a lot.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. You had so many great questions. I'll try and get to some of the rest of these on the Fitish Instagram account. As always, info@fitish.com with questions. We post the questions or a prompt for y'all to ask questions, usually every Monday on our Instagram account. Or now you can DM Franny.
Yeah. Francisco Rizzo.
Questions. He likes to do Q&As once a week. He likes to do real estate updates as well. So just influencing around town.
I had someone asking me, like they have buying remorse about their house because they bought $1 million something house and they're having buying remorse. It's like, don't worry. If you bought something you have buying remorse, we can sell it and maybe you'll make money. But you're not going to lose money in this market. The inventory is still
I'd have buyer's remorse too.
Yeah.
That's why we still haven't bought a house.
But yeah, inventory is super low. So don't have buyer's remorse. Sell your house. Call me.
Sell it. Call. All right. We'll see you next week. Thanks.